All right, so now we're gonna put your ridge caps on, and what you're gonna see is that there's gonna be two identical pieces for ridge caps. They're both gonna be 8 foot, so we'll get a nice overlap. And then you're gonna notice at one end it's gonna be cut to cap it, and then the other end's gonna be open. Just be careful down here. It's not real sharp, but if you're not careful, it can cut you. But either way, all you're gonna do is grab the ridge caps, and it does not matter which end you start with, but just make sure your capped end goes over the ends of the peaks, up the gable part. And what you're going to do is just slide them on, like that, and then you're going to do the same thing with the other ridge cap. I'm a do-si-do with the cameraman. This isn't scary. Here we go. All right. So then take your other ridge cap. You're going to put that on top like that. And then once those are in position, what you're trying to do is make sure that the, obviously the peak of the ridge cap is right dead center where your two roofs meet. And then the ridge cap is not pre-drilled because I don't want to be off if your roofing is going to be probably put in a little bit different than it is here. But once you get the ridge cap on, all you're going to do is take the same exact self-piercing screws. And it is okay to hop up on your roof. At least that's what I do. And you probably going to have to because of how big how wide your coop is. But either way, what you're going to do is take your self-piercing screws, and then once the ridge cap is in position, go ahead and these are self-piercing. So what you're going to do is take the screw with a screw gun, push down on this flap here, right dead center above the rib. This is where you're going to want the screws to go through. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll start at one end and then work your way down, and then definitely make sure you catch the overlap right here. But you can go every other rib, and you're going to do the same thing on both sides. So again, get your ridge cap centered, take your self-piercing screws, put them through the ridge cap, going through the rib, down into that purlin. And once you have all the screws in, your roofing is done. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get your egg hutches on, and you'll have another video on how to assemble your egg hutches. They're all the same, but we're going to show you now how to put them on your hen house here. And there is an option that you can put the egg hutch on with the metal roof already on. I kind of like putting the egg hutch on and then put the metal roof on afterwards, so that's what we're going to show you how to do. So either way, after your egg hutches are assembled, have a person bring it over, and then just slip on the inside of the hen house. And what you're going to do is just flush it up around the edges, and actually you can bring it down just a little bit, bring it down about 1/2 inch. Just to give yourself a little bit deeper of a box, give yourself a little bit more room for the metal roofing underneath that window. So you can come down about 1/2 inch. And then you got these pre-drilled holes on the inside here. Once you're happy with where it is, just go ahead and drive these screws in. The 2 1/4 or 2 1/2. And there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws, and then you're just going to repeat the same exact steps on the other side of the hen house. Okay, after your egg hutches are on, now is a good time to put the metal roof on. And they're pre-cut and pre-drilled. So you'll notice that one edge of the metal roofing has a slight angled cut or a miter cut, and that's to make sure so that when the roofing slides up, it's flush up against the hen house, and then this is going to be a 90-degree cut. So all you're going to do is find where left to right, you're in the middle. I kind of just feel it with my fingers. And then what I like to do is start with the middle two and push the metal roofing up against the hen house. You're just going to use your regular roofing screws to go ahead and put your roofing on. and then make sure as you screw it in that you try to keep that up as tight as possible. And sometimes a screw can do what's called graining, and what happens is it hits a harder part of the wood and it kind of dictates the direction of the screw. And if it kicks it down a little bit, just back the screw back out, rechange the angle, and like I just did in that one, and then shoot or screw it in so it forces the roof up against the wall. But either way, so all you're going to do is do the same thing in the remaining holes up top, and then the bottom 4, and then do the same exact thing on the other egg hutch on the other side of the hen house. Okay, one of the last steps for the outside of the hen house anyways is to put the ramp on. And all you're going to do is take your 2.5-inch zinc screws, take the top of the ramp where it's mitered and has been pre-drilled. Go ahead and start the screws and just put it up. I prefer it underneath the trim. You can, if you wanted to, screw it in this way. I just think it looks nicer. Like that. The chickens really don't care. And you just try to center it up the best you can to the opening. And then go ahead and drive the screws in. Don't have to get the screws real tight. Just enough to seat the head, and it's not going anywhere. And then, of course, you have 2 ramps, so when you go to swap them out, that's all you're going to do is back these screws out, screw the other one in, wash this one down, and you're good to go. So that's all there is to the ramp. Okay, Mary, in this part of the video, we're going to show you how the electric, the 110 electric, is going to work on your coop, along with the installation on your end. Now, I hope that we did, and I do believe we did everything we could to make it as easy as possible for you and also have the least amount of work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of explain how it works along with what the steps will be to install it. The only thing I'm not sure of yet is when we break the coop down and we put it on the crate, I'm hoping to leave all the electric on it without having to take any boxes off. If we have to take any boxes off, I'm going to explain in this video what to do if we have to do that. So hopefully half of this video is going to be for nothing. Anyways, so the whole thing's going to start with this box right here. This is going to be the weather tight box. And what you're going to do is run your extension cord up to this male end. There's a little plastic piece right here that you can just knock out to make room for that cord to come up through, or maybe I'll just go ahead and do it for you. Either way, just plug it in, tuck it up in here, and what this box does is it keeps that water tight so that water doesn't short out that connection. So from there, it's going to send power to this box here, and this is going to be another just a 110 outlet that's also a weather tight box that we're hoping not have to take off. But either way, so that's going to power this 110 outlet, and then from there we're going to go inside the hen house. And you can see kind of behind the scenes of how this is going to work. So the power then comes back up through the BX wire, through the BX cable, comes up to this box here. Now this is where you're going to have to make some connections in order for the whole coop to come together. So what I did is you're going to have another 110 outlet right here, and then there are going to be 3 wires. Okay, there's a green, a black, and a white. This black is your hot. This is your white one's your neutral, green is the ground. So in order for the electric to be installed with the least amount of impact as far as drilling holes and things like that, you will have to run this cable. So what we'll do is probably work backwards with the video and hope that it makes sense. That after, and I'm going to show you how to run this cable, but it's pretty simple. This is going to the outlet that's inside your run, and then you're just going to put them through the clamps. And actually, I'll kind of show you real quick how it works. Pretty self-explanatory. We can loosen these, and that just loosens the cable. And that's how it's going to come to you. You're going to run the cable, tighten these straps down, okay? And then there's another screw right here. And it's actually better when you do go to run the cable to loosen this strap. Feed the wires through this bracket right here, push it in, and then tighten this strap down like that. And then what I've done is I've already stripped the wires for you. Now here's all you have to do, but it's going to be very important to understand that we get this correct, is on the back of this outlet, and make sure we get a good shot of this, is you're going to have basically a neutral side, which is going to be this side of the outlet, and you're going to have a hot side where that black wire is going. All you're gonna do when you get to this point, and obviously make sure it's not plugged in, common sense, but just want to mention that first, make sure it's not plugged in while you hook this up. You're gonna take this white wire, and I'm not gonna do it because it's kind of tricky to get it out, but you can get it out if you do make a mistake. Either way, there's these little tiny holes right there or right there. Does not matter which one you go into. In this case, because it's just easier, I'd probably put it in that one right there. And then you're just gonna push it in all the way. And then you're connected. Now you're gonna do the same thing on your hot side. Okay, again, here's your hot side, there's your black wire. So make sure you put the black wire on that side. So there you just sent power to the hot side of the outlet, got your neutral. Now, as far as your ground, which is a very important safety part, we want to make sure we get this right as well. What I did is I gave you a piggy tail off of where you're grounded to your box, you're grounded to your outlet, and then a piggy tail coming off to here to make it really easy for you to make this connection so you don't have to get into twisting wires. In your kit will be this yellow wire nut. All you got to do, just put those wires together. If you can twist them together, fine. Believe it or not, it's actually against code now to twist wires because they're afraid you're going to break them. I'd still like twist them. Either way, all you got to do is take your yellow wire nut, put it on your ground screws, just like that, and push it, twist it on clockwise, and then that's it, okay? So again, black to the little hole there, push it all the way in. White to the little hole on the neutral side, push it all the way in. Now, once all your wires are connected, you're just gonna carefully push all your wires in. And I'm just gonna do this just to demonstrate, even though it's not hooked up. And just, again, be careful, you wanna try to go in as even as possible. And then you're gonna have these two long screws that you're gonna have these little tabs that are pre-threaded. I'm just gonna put them screws in there. And actually, I can do it right now, just to show you. And be careful, start slow so you don't cross thread those pre-drilled threads on that box. And then do this side. And what I like to do is kind of go in evenly on both sides of the outlet. Okay, so now your outlet's in. And then also with your kit, there's going to be this metal cover, just like inside your home. You're going to have that little Phillips head screw. Don't get it real tight, don't want to overdo it, just still snug. And that seals that up. Okay, so just kind of recap, you're going to run this circuit from the outlet outside the run and just do all those steps to wire it up to this outlet, bundle it all up, push it in, screw the outlet down, put the cap on, or the outlet plate, and you're good to go. And the nice thing about this BX, or also called flexible conduit, is if the chickens ever, not that they ever would, but just to be on the safe side, it protects the wires from them pecking at it. But anyways, let's real quick go out to the run area and show you that outlet. And the reason why we had to have you make that connection in there, which I was trying to avoid, but hopefully again, this is gonna be the easiest process, is this wall has to slide down, and there's no real good way to run this wire without having to do major visual impact, if you will. So here's your outlet. This is another weather-tight box, just like you have on the outside of your hen house. This you should not have to do anything with. Worst case scenario, we may have to pull this off for packaging. If so, you can just restrap your cables. But to screw it in, this is going to be the same exact thing as the outlet inside your hen house. Just undo this screw. The only thing different is going to be a little bit of a foam backer here. And then you're just going to pull that out, and you're going to see two screws that just screw right to this frame. So it's very simple. If you have any questions, obviously don't hesitate to give me a call. But I think once you see it, you'll understand. But if you don't take that out, you're just going to basically thread your wire through this little hole, continue with the straps to that connection point. So that's your 110 circuit. Hopefully it works out for you. Hopefully it's really easy. Again, if you have any questions, just give me a call. I'll guide you through it. Thanks.